You pooed. I think you pooped, haven't you? Have you poopy poopies? Yes you did. Yes you did. Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I really want to talk all about public breastfeeding. In my previous breastfeeding video I did say that I wanted to do a video about this to help any new mums who are feeling a bit anxious or worried about breastfeeding in public for the first time. Then I hope I can take the worry away and give you a bit of positive energy about breastfeeding in public, because realistically it shouldn't be a subject, but I hope that this helps anyone who is nervous about it. So as I've been breastfeeding now for over 3 years, and now obviously I'm tandem feeding with 2 children, I do know that public breastfeeding can be a little bit nerve-wracking at first, but after a while it's so natural and you don't really think what anyone thinks or if they look at you or anything like that. And yeah, it does come quite naturally after a while, but I know the first few weeks can be quite daunting. So my first piece of advice would be to know your rights. And that is that in the UK, the law is completely on your side, and it's actually illegal to tell any breastfeeding mum that they have to leave a restaurant or they have to move somewhere else or they have to stop breastfeeding their baby. So yeah, you are perfectly legal to breastfeed anywhere and everywhere you want. When your baby is hungry, just feed them there and then, and no one can say otherwise. So I think that definitely gave me peace of mind in the first few weeks to know that it was perfectly legal for me to do so, and that I didn't need someone to tell me to move, because I knew that that was illegal and I could sue them if I wanted to. So yeah, so that definitely gave me peace of mind, and hopefully that gives someone else peace of mind to know that you're perfectly legal to feed anywhere and everywhere. So yeah, that's my first piece of advice. My second piece of advice would be to not care what anyone else thinks. When out in public, you know, you may get some people look, or because sometimes people are just intrigued, or they're looking because it's nice to see, and some people might just look because they're arrogant and don't like it. But at the end of the day, it's you and your baby. You're doing the best that you can for your baby. You're feeding your baby, and that's the best you can do, I guess. And if people are looking, all you've got to do is hold your baby, smile, and I'm more than likely they will look away, I can guarantee you, because they just don't like to be looked at while they're looking, if that makes sense. So yeah, the best you can do is just sit and smile and not to worry what anyone else thinks. My third piece of advice would be is that when you're out in public, if you are a bit worried about showing any flesh and you're feeling a bit, you know, nervous about being exposing yourself or whatever, there is one method that came in really handy for me in the first few weeks, and even now when I'm out and about I still do this, which is the 1 up 1 down method. It's basically where you wear 2 tops, so this top and another tank top underneath, and you lift the top half up and the bottom half down. So that gives you a little bit more privacy and you're not completely covering your baby, which if you want to, there are a lot of things online. There are like different breastfeeding covers, and you can use muslins, blankets and things like that if you're wanting a little bit more privacy. But this definitely helped me in the first few weeks when I learnt this, and if you are nervous about if you can't do it or you find it a bit fiddly, if you practice in front of a mirror, you will notice how much flesh actually doesn't show at all, because obviously you've got the 2 tops covering your stomach and your chest, and then the baby's head's there, so you really can't see anything. So definitely practice in front of a mirror, so then you'll realise how much isn't actually on show. Fourth piece of advice about feeding in public is to be confident and just do it with pride. It's such a wonderful thing to be able to do if you can breastfeed. So just be confident with it. Don't try and be nervous. If you want to, you can try and plan your day, which is basically where you can kind of like feed your baby before you go out. But never ever, and I can't stress this enough, please do not go to a toilet and feed. You know, breastfeeding mums like myself just want to kind of debunk that completely. We don't need to do that. It's just absolutely ridiculous. You know, you wouldn't have someone average person taking their dinner into the toilet and eating it, so why would you expect a baby to? Definitely don't do that. And yeah, feed with confidence, and it definitely shows through, so no one would want to approach you and make a comment if they ever did. And my last piece of advice would be, if you do ever receive a bad comment from someone in public, make sure you just get your boob and squirt them right in the face. No, I'm joking, maybe don't do that. My final piece of advice would be, if you are a bit nervous about breastfeeding in public, try and meet some other breastfeeding mums at breastfeeding groups and things like that, and be able to build your confidence up by going out with other people who breastfeed. This definitely helped me as well. I went out with my friend who was also a breastfeeding mum, and whenever she would breastfeed, I'd try and breastfeed as well, and after a while my confidence was so great that I didn't even worry. I didn't even double think about breastfeeding in public. I just went on and did it. So yeah, try and get a group of friends or try and meet some new people who are also breastfeeding mums, so you don't feel so alone when you're out in public. And the last thing that I want to mention is that breastfeeding in public is not a new thing. Some people seem to think it's like proper modern and, you know, hippie and all this stuff, but it really isn't. Breastfeeding in public's been around for years. I'm going to pop up some pictures right now for you. of things back in like the Victorian times of people breastfeeding in public, so it's really not that new. People have done it for ages and centuries, so it just seems a lot of people just assume that breastfeeding mums just sit indoors and feed under a tent basically, but that's not how it works anymore. No, it isn't. No, it's not. We breastfeed with pride. So yeah, that is my advice and my tips for breastfeeding in public. I hope you find them helpful. And if you are a new breastfeeding mum, please don't hesitate to message me, because I'm happy to talk to anyone about my expertise on breastfeeding. I like to think so anyway. But yeah, that's all from me today, and I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because I post 3 videos a week, up to 3 videos when I can. And I'll be posting more videos about breastfeeding and routine videos and cleaning, which is something I really enjoy. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. You say bye, Harry. Bye. Bye.